Hi everyone, I'm Daniela and welcome to Black Cat Kitchen. Today we're making a classic Japanese appetizer, tempura. I've been making this recipe for about 15 to 20 years now. My friend Heather and I used to love going to our favorite little Japanese restaurant to the point where, well, we ended up running out of cash. So we had to make it ourselves. Tempura is so easy to make and you've probably got most of the ingredients in your kitchen already. It's also one of the best ways to eat vegetables. I'm going to show you how to make tempura at home along with the traditional Tentsuyu dip. So let's jump into the recipe. See the description below for a list of ingredients. The dip calls for dashi, which is a common ingredient in Japanese cooking. I'm using a dashi concentrate, but if you can find kombu, you can make your own. And if you can't find kombu or a dashi concentrate, you can substitute it with dried shiitake mushrooms. So you'll want to hydrate these in hot water until they're nice and plump and the water takes on a dark brown color. That will be your substitute for your dashi. The purpose of the dashi in this recipe is to bring that umami. You can get this umami flavor from a lot of ingredients like dashi or shiitake mushrooms or even MSG. To a pot, add 225 milliliters of water and 25 milliliters of your dashi concentrate. You'll want to follow the directions on your dashi packaging. Now add 60 milliliters of mirin rice wine and 60 milliliters of soy sauce. We're going to gently heat this up to bring all of the flavors together and then set it aside to cool. We'll reheat it just before serving. Using a sharp knife, let's prep our vegetables. Here I'm taking off the ends of my asparagus. I'm cutting off the bottom of a king oyster mushroom and then slicing it into long strips. Shiitake mushrooms also work great here. I'm topping and tailing my peeled carrots and then slicing them into thin strips. You want them about 5 millimeters thick, like this. Let's slice our eggplant into thin rounds. You want to pick a thin eggplant so it doesn't have a lot of seeds in the middle. Cut your broccoli into bite-sized florets. And let's do the same with a sweet potato as we did the eggplant. And one white potato that I'll shred with my cheese grater. Shredded potato isn't that common in vegetable tempura, but it's one of my favorites. That's our veggies prepped. Now you'll want to heat your oil. I'm using a large sauté pan so that I can get quite a few vegetables in at a time. You'll want it about an inch deep. We're looking to bring this up to 360 degrees Fahrenheit. To 140 grams of cornflour or cornstarch, add 60 grams of plain flour. To our dry mix, we're adding 160 milliliters of sparkling water and a handful of crushed ice. Keeping your batter cold is very important. I'm using 4 chopsticks that I'm holding together to mix this because that's the best way to make sure your tempura batter is light and fluffy. It's very important not to stir your batter at this point. You'll want to stab your chopsticks up and down until the mixture looks a little bit like a heavy cream. We'll test our oil by dropping in a few bits of batter. If it pops straight up off the bottom of the pan and starts to sizzle, that's when you know your oil is ready. I like to start by dusting all of my veggies in some plain flour. This just helps the tempura batter to stick really well to the vegetables. Now into the batter and then straight into that hot oil. I find chopsticks are easiest for this, but if you're not a chopstick master, you can easily use tongs. Now my secret to those crispy crunchy bits on the tempura, dip your chopsticks into your batter and just wiggle those drops over top of your vegetables. This helps to create those little craggy crunchy pieces. The color of the batter stays quite light, but it will turn a light golden color. That's when you know your veggies are done. Scoop out any excess tempura bits in your oil so they don't burn. And you're going to make a mess. It's a given. Now let's fry up the rest of our vegetables the exact same way. I like to take my shredded potatoes and really toss them around to get those strands of potatoes coated. Now drop those potatoes into what's remaining of your batter and give it a good stir around. Now I just like to take little clumps with my hands and carefully drop them into the oil. I hope you love this vegetable tempura recipe. Itadakimasu! I've loved sharing this recipe with you. Thank you so much for stopping by. And if you're hungry for more, check out some more recipes here and make sure to hit that subscribe button down here. And let us know down below, what's your favorite vegetable tempura? See you next time.